Yes, we are broadcasting from Tokyo, Japan for the next 3 days altogether. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman as we continue to look at the fallout from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant meltdown, turning to a documentary called Nuclear Nation, the Fukushima refugee story. The film looks at what happened to residents of the town of Futaba, where the plant was located. In a minute, we'll be joined by the director of this film, Atsushi Funahashi. But first, a clip from Nuclear Nation that takes us to meet the former residents of Futaba, who were forced to leave their homes, possibly permanently. In this scene, the evacuees are staying in an abandoned school near Tokyo.
Spring. The residents of Futaba left behind their hometown, beleaguered by a crippled nuclear power plant. More than 1,400 refugees now live here. It's a school near Tokyo that's been transformed into a modern-day Noah's Ark for those escaping radiation. Futaba hosts Fukushima Daiichi. After the accident, the townspeople fled 250 kilometers to the outskirts of Tokyo. The Japanese government is providing 3 boxed lunches a day.
How many? 3? Here you are. Sorry for the wait. How many for you? 2? Okay, here you are. Thank you. How many for you, sir? 3? Okay, 3. There you go. Please help yourself to the cucumbers.
It's rice gruel. For Grandma.
It's for Grandma?
Because we have Grandma.
That's nice.
Come on.
10 to 20 people occupy each classroom.
Oh, my legs. What's this called? A bibimbap? Bibimbap.
All that was left of our house was the concrete foundation. Terrible. It was all swept away. From relatives to friends. All the cremations are over.
Is that right?
Even babies and kids.
About 200 people from our community died, and 100 of those bodies haven't been identified.
That's a clip from Nuclear Nation, the Fukushima refugee story. And we're joined here in our Tokyo studio by its director, Atsushi Funahashi. Welcome to Democracy Now! It's great to have you with us. I watched the film on the plane as I was flying to Japan. It is a powerful film about nuclear refugees.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Amy. Yeah. So how did you like it, the film?
I mean, it's an astounding film because you have this entire town, Futaba, that was completely relocated into a school. Explain how this happened.
It was the entire Japan was pretty much confused right after this accident happened. First of all, the Japanese government ordered evacuation 3-kilometer radius from ground zero from Fukushima Daiichi, then 10 kilometer, then 20 kilometer. It is back March 2011. Then the American government actually made an advisory to the American people staying in Japan to stay away at least 50 miles, and which is 80 kilometer. So Japanese people start arguing why the Americans go 80 kilometers, then Japanese go 20. And so there's a huge confusion that how far you have to get away from it. Then at the end of March, I heard this small town of Futaba evacuated 250 kilometers from the Fukushima Daiichi because nobody knew how far you should go escape. So I thought that was the right decision. And that's why I kind of try to focus on this small town. And first of all the town except Futaba stayed inside of the Fukushima prefecture, relatively closer to this Fukushima Daiichi. Then this was the only town, and this town escaped farthermost. And I thought this could be the very interesting. And it's meaningful too.
You didn't have permission to go and film back in Fukushima, but you got a permit from one of the family members because each family was given 2 permits to return for 2 hours to get their things if they wanted to.
Yes. Yes, I tried to negotiate with the government, and they didn't give me any permission to go inside there. And any other independent journalists or documentary filmmakers didn't get the permission to go inside. But I got along very well with this family from Futaba, and they gave me, okay, maybe we go back in there, and then we got 4 permits, and then we are just using 2. So why don't we come together?
I want to turn to another clip from your film, Nuclear Nation. This is Masami Yoshizawa, a cattle farmer who defied evacuation orders after the Fukushima disaster.
I can't sell these cows. Keeping them, feeding them, and incurring expenses. What's the use in that? I was conflicted. My mind's made up. I'm committed to letting these cows live. My destiny is linked with theirs.
Most farmers, however, have obeyed the evacuation order and have deserted their animals. Without food or water, the cows were left to die. Out of 3,500 head of cattle within the evacuation zone, about half have starved to death.
That's a clip from Nuclear Nation. And before we get the filmmaker's comments, I wanted to play one more clip. In August 2011, municipalities hosting nuclear plants from across Japan convened in Tokyo to lobby the government after the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster. We'll hear from the nuclear crisis minister, Goshi Hosono. But first, this is Banri Kaeda, Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry. The clip ends with a comment by a representative from the town of Futaba, which was evacuated after the disaster, the mayor there.
The future of energy production and Japanese energy policy is currently being debated. And this is something we've communicated to you regarding the details of this review. I believe it's important to clearly define the terms as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
The industry minister leaves his seat in the first 5 minutes.
The central and prefunctional governments are working on the annual health check guidelines based on what we've researched. Until now, the impact of radiation on children appears negligible. However, we will endeavor to keep you apprised of any developments.
The nuclear crisis minister follows suit, citing official duties.
And now, we'd like to open the floor for comments. Please raise your hands.
I'm representing Futaba. I want to know why we're being made to feel this way. It's frustrating. What does the Nuclear Power Committee think? When you came and explained it to us, you lied, saying it was safe and secure. But we, who trusted and believed you, can no longer live in our own town.
That was the mayor of Futaba. Again, this entire town, now a town of nuclear refugees, cannot go home. And
right.
What is the prospects for them ever returning?
There's none. Pretty much. The only thing the government is saying is that at least 6 years from the accident, you cannot go back to your own town. But they don't give you any other prospect after that. That's the fundamental problem they have. They are giving out all those compensation up to the 6 years from the accident, but they don't give you any prospect. When you compare to this compensation with, let's say, some public projects like making highways or dam, they compensate you entire land and the house you live in because you have to move away. But what's happening in Fukushima is that it's about 40%. When you compare with those highway or the public projects. So because the difference is that the government is saying for the nuclear refugees, the basic assumption is that you are going back there. And for the highways and the dam, you're not going back.
Although they can't for years.
Right.
I want to thank you for being with us. Atsushi Funahashi, Director of Nuclear Nation, the Fukushima refugee story. He's now working on Nuclear Nation Part 2. And that ends it for the broadcast. On Saturday, January 18th, I'll be speaking in Tokyo here at Sophia University at 10 a.m. at the International Conference Room, number 2 building. Then Sunday, the 19th, 7 p.m., I'll be speaking in Kyoto. You can check our website at democracynow.org. And then on Monday at the Japanese Correspondents Association here in Tokyo. That does it for our broadcast. Thanks to